With the Switch 2 now out in the wild, what Nintendo franchises will be most dominant during this console's life cycle? Specifically, we are talking about entirely new entries and not remasters or remakes. Splatoon, I feel, is a very easy one to mention, given the fact that the previous Switch housed not one, not two, but three Splatoon entries. So, with that logic being applied to the Switch 2, I think it's safe to say that we are going to get a lot more entries in the franchise down the pipeline. It's almost certain. And given the popularity of the Inklings, this honestly seems like a no-brainer. Fire Emblem is another franchise that I feel is on quite the hot streak. Ever since this particular series gained new life on the 3DS with Fire Emblem Awakening, this franchise has been cranking out entries out the wazoo. And so, this has basically raised this series' stock quite high. And with Fortune's Weave being set to release for the Switch 2, this makes the point all the more absolute. Pikmin, I feel, is a series that also has been making sure not to slouch, because we have gotten a few releases over the last few years. And if you need further proof of the popularity of Pikmin, look no further than the most recent animated short, Close to You, which drove people up the wall because fans thought that it was Pikmin related when it in fact was not. But it just goes to show how much this series is at the forefront of fans' minds. Which leads me to think that Pikmin is going to enjoy a good life on the system. Pokemon, Pokemon, Pokemon. Oh, this series in particular is one that is equally popular, but also just as equally controversial. This franchise, no matter how good or how mid it gets, will always find success and will always make heap loads of cash. And despite the mixed reviews of Pokemon Legends ZA, the Pokemon Company is pretty much trudging along forward pretty smoothly and without any problems. In particular though, all eyes are going to be on Gen 10. Because if Game Freak and the Pokemon Company flop on Gen 10, I do feel that it's going to be a turning point for Pokemon as a franchise. And finally, we get to Super Smash Bros. This, in all honesty, is totally up to Sakurai and whether or not he actually wants to make another Smash game. And with how perfect Ultimate was, how do you top that? I mean, it's in the name, Ultimate. If there's anyone who can find a way to top Ultimate, it's definitely the man Sakurai himself. But only time will tell what happens.